When you ask a typical AI to write a paragraph, it doesn't actually comprehend the words. Instead, it glides across a flat surface of statistical probabilities, jumping from one node to the next based on what word usually follows another. This graphic illustrates the approximation trap. On the left, language models optimize for statistical proximity in a flat syntactic space. But on the right, genuine intelligence requires a curved living space where meaning converges on an objective truth. Imagine if human conversation worked like that flat grid. Every time we spoke, we would endlessly bounce between loosely associated words, drifting from topic to topic without ever managing to land on shared facts. In reality, when we reason with one another, we rarely drift forever. Our thoughts actively pull toward shared norms and verified common ground. For a system to exhibit real intelligence, it requires a structural force. It needs a gravitational pull that bends communication together, guiding scattered thoughts toward an objective reality. We call the environment where this reasoning happens semantic spacetime. Instead of measuring physical distances, like meters and miles, this space measures the functional relationships between ideas. This diagram maps the 4 specific dimensions of that space. Every meaningful relationship you can express falls onto one of these geometric axes: proximity, sequence, containment, or property. These form the complete arena for human cognition. In the physical universe, a dense object like a planet creates gravity. In this relational space, we have to ask, what acts as the mass that pulls our thoughts together? This diagram shows a tokum, an elemental particle of meaning. It's a rigid triad connecting a universal concept, a reality instance, and an auditable verification chain. Notice the bottom equation. These components are locked through a cryptographic hash, making the unit structurally inviolable. When an idea is repeatedly tested and verified by multiple independent sources, it sheds the weightless nature of an opinion. It condenses into a dense, heavy anchor within the conceptual network. Look at the core claim in this image to see the structural parallel to physics. Just as physical matter warps the space-time around it, a highly verified piece of meaning bends the geometry of semantic spacetime. This text panel explains that trust generates this curve. Through the agapistic influence function, highly redundant concepts acquire semantic mass, digging a deep gravitational well. Notice the dashed line, a cognitive trajectory. Entering this dense region, it naturally deflects downward toward the highly verified hub. When 2 people engage in a productive conversation, the way their arguments eventually align is not a coincidence. They are guided by semantic gravity, following paths of least resistance directly toward established truths. Right now, the digital environment is drowning in noise. Without an anchor, AI systems wander through infinite interpretations, hallucinating answers to keep the text flowing. This chart outlines the mathematical solution, the Banach fixed-point theorem. On the left, a scattered spray represents multiple chaotic interpretations. Moving right, semantic gravity contracts our options. The math guarantees iterative reasoning inevitably locks on to a single fixed point: truth. This creates a built-in failsafe known as a metacognitive halt. If a reasoning agent enters a region completely devoid of verified facts, the semantic space stays entirely flat. Without gravity to guide it, the thought trajectory terminates. Rather than making up a fake statistic to keep sliding across a flat probability grid, a system bound by these physics will naturally and formally conclude, "I don't know." An encyclopedic database is a static archive. Genuine intelligence requires friction, operating as a living field governed by the inescapable physics of meaning. The pull toward common ground is not a helpful analogy. It is a tangible, structural reality where the sheer weight of shared, verified truth physically bends the trajectory of our minds toward one another.